All right. Looks like we're alive. Um. So the last time that we were working on this, we got the contacts and company set up, and just kind of really simply put in. Um, but we kind of cheated by not having homepage that we can and navigation to jump around, and also and not actually assigning the contacts to accounts properly. So everybody can read everything, and that is probably a problem. So we're going to look at addressing those two things. All right. So let's actually hop into our tests. So in here we've got the company and contact tests. So in here we're cheating by saying start at the we're skipping starting at the home page. So what we're gonna do with this is we are going to visit the route path, and I'm going to say that I am signed in. And on here I'm going to say click on contacts and go from there. Actually, I want to do this. So I'm gonna make the user here. I gotta go create user with account, and that is because I want to be able to access that. So when I visit the route path, it's going to yell at me. So I'm going to click on user.accounts.first.name. So I'm gonna actually I don't need to do that. I'm just gonna like something like hit select or something like that. Actually, I can do that. Yeah, that'll be really good. So I can select the account. All right, so I'm going to create the user. I'm going to go to the home page. It's going to yell at me. I'm going to select the account, and then I'm going to click on contacts, add contacts, and go from there. So that's good. So it's going to yell at me about that with account. So that trait doesn't exist. So we're going to hop into the factory, and that's going to be the user factory. And I think that this is going to be trait with account. So in here, let me just look that up. Alright. Actually, probably do it from the cheat sheet. Defense is great when it works out. Yep, so it's going to be trait with account do and stuff. So on here, it is going to be a after. Yeah. So trait with account after create do I forget the syntax for this because it's a little bit hairy. Yeah, let me Google that. So this is going to be factory bot create as many through So I think that this is going to be like this, and we can do user.accounts. And just to check this out, let's just do a puts user.accounts. After create, how many of you were screaming at me about that? Active account 1 created at. Yep, that looks good. And let's do that just to confirm. All right, so we've got our membership and our account. All right, great. So user with accounts, click select, and that's where it should now list because it can't find select. Root path, can't find it. So let's do this to dashboards home. Dashboards controller doesn't exist. Whom can't be found. And view doesn't exist. Yep. And it's going to claim plain, but not be able to find select. And that's because we actually want this here should actually now be at the redirected. So for that, so we actually wanted to put a thing here for secure secure controller, and this is going to be so anything that's in the secure controller, that's I'm going to be wanting it to make sure that it has the require action, and actually going to pull that here. And I'm also going to have a before action of require current account. And this secure controller is also going to be on the dashboard, on the contacts, on the companies, and essentially everywhere. So for the secure account, so if we do that now, it should say that this doesn't exist, of course. So we'll throw that into the application controller. Sorry, this should be in the secure controller. It could be used anywhere, so actually we'll include it in the application controller, although it's not going to be used here. I just have to return false right now. Okay. So requiring current account. So this is going to redirect to accounts path unless current account. And it says, what's the current account? Absolutely. So this is going to be, this is going to return unless current user. This is going to, so if you're not signed in, it's going to bail. And if you have your cookies dot signed, we'll say current account ID. So if you don't have a current account cookie, it's going to bail. And otherwise, it's going to do current user dot accounts dot find your current account ID. All right. And it's going to infinitely redirect, and that is because the accounts controller, we want to skip for action of require current account. Cool. So now that does work, and that means that we're on to the accounts page here, and we want to add a select button. And let's not delete it. And it's going to show. So, all right. So count is equal to current user dot accounts dot find params ID. So we want to grab that account, and we're going to be setting the cookies dot signed the current account path here, the current account ID rather. That's going to be the account dot ID. So once you select the account, then we are going to redirect to root path. All right. Cool. Now it's complaining about not having a menu. So let's get that, and we are going to put it into the shared folder. I put this into the, an applications folder sometimes, or into, not really into layouts. I'm not a huge fan of that, but yeah. So where'd that go? There we go. So we are going to just call this menu.html.erp. And we're going to link to contacts. And that's going to be the contacts path. And we're going to add that to the application. let's actually put it onto the screen. Beautiful. All right, so we can basically take that same close all the stuff. So we want to get the users, select, and click on companies. Change it there? No. All right. Missing the menu, of course. Great. So let's run the whole test suite, and everything's passing. All right, so we touched a lot here. So our accounts, we've added that show. That's letting us do that. I don't know if I'm totally happy with that show action being what we're doing there. But it's okay for now. Application controller gets that current account and require current account. Yep. That's doing that. Good. Boring home page. Secure controller is good. Select is good. The boring dashboard is there. That's good. That's good. That's good. And that's all right. Yep. Oh, let's actually change that to be consistent because that's the company's. All right. So with this, I do smaller commits, but there's a lot of it is pretty straightforward. So, so that's kind of why I just kind of batch it all up and put it in. So with this, it is, so what do I do here? So we require accounts for CRM sections. Okay. So we did do that. We did set the current account, but we're not using. Okay. So what we actually want to be, so if I come into the users can manage company spec and users can manage contact spec. So for these two, if I come in here and make another account, actually, so I'm just thinking the best place to put this testing in. Because right now, if well, here, let's show. All right, admin at example.com is what I think I used. Nope. There we go. All right, so if I go into companies, we have macro harden here. But if I go to so if I come in here and we've got our CRMmy account, so make a second account. If I come in here to the companies, there's nothing that says what account they're on. So that's a problem. So really what we want to be doing is when you create a company, yeah, so let's come in here. So users can manage contacts. I think there might be a mouse. So really what I want to be doing is, first off, I want to be using current account dot companies dot all. Company dot account equals current account. Yeah, kind of like wherever you've used companies, this is fine. Sorry, this should be current account dot companies dot find, company dot new is fine, company dot, so I can actually just kind of scope this. If I don't want to be finding in general, I don't want to be updating in general. So if I do that and now run that spec, it's gonna be a little bit interesting. Now if I'm companies for current account, yep. So as members, member users. As many companies, and then all right. Companies.account ID does not exist, of course not. And that's going to be references. All right. Null is false, foreign key is true, and I'm going to, this is early on, so it doesn't matter, so I'm just going to nuke that data. Perfect. All right, and if I look at the companies now, we have that account ID, and if we look at the structure, not all accounts, perfect. Okay, so let's try running this again. Beautiful. All right. So we're going to basically do the same thing for the contacts. So in here, well, so in here, we're going to do the same thing where it's going to be current account dot contacts dot all. And let's run the right test. And I've method context for account. What? Yep. As many companies, has many contacts. it's missing. Add account to contacts. And let's check that. Add reference contacts, account, and null force foreign key true. Yep. Rails DB migrate. And let's run that again. See how far we get. Did I skip over that too quickly? I might have. Contacts, account. Nope, that looks about right. That looks good. Ah, I should read the error properly. Null value in account ID. Yep. Which is exactly what we're expecting. So inside of create, that's going to be current account.contacts.new. That's going to be kind of pushed out everywhere. New. Da, da, da. Beautiful. Run everything. Perfect. All right. Contacts slash companies. All right. So accounts and contacts are now associated with the account. All right. So those are updated and looking good. So let's be able to add the appointment, which will add the contact and company relationship. Okay. So how will this work? So we're going to have an appointment model, and it's going to be a join model, no big deal there. And what I'm going to say is that you want to be able to, you don't want to generally be deleting these when a person leaves a company. You'll change a status on there. I'm trying to think if the status needs to be anything more than just active or not. So if it's just active or not, this would be something where you just have a Boolean, a true value, a true or false value. And probably for that, I'd even use a timestamp, where if you set a value, it's true. If it's nil, it's a false. So that'd be one thing we could do. The other way we could do something is use an enum, and that might be a good way to go, because then we can say whether it's a current employee, past employee, or like fired, and that might be useful in case there's a hostile situation or something along those lines. So that's something we can maybe even even do something as we move forward. Okay, so let's Rails G another RSpec feature. So we could drive this from the employee side or from the company side. For the sake of why not, I'm going to drive it from the employee side. So the way I see this working is you Go to the employee, hit plus on the employment, select the company, select the status, and hit add. Yeah, so Rails G RSpec feature, contacts can be employed. Yeah, actually, I guess this would be something like a consultant or anything else like that. So there's lots of things that this could be. So yeah, I think making an enum is the way to go. All right. So we're gonna have a user we're going to have a company and a contact. And we're going to try this from the contact side. Okay, so we're on the contact screen currently. So we want to do, so within the, so this is going to be a panel or something where we're going to have employments. And here we're going to click on add company. I'm not sure if that should be add company, add employment. Select company dot name. Come dot name for company. I can't remember if it's for or from. We'll see. Select consultant. Consult at for status. Click on add employment. Okay, that makes sense. And here, so if we do that, and then we visit the company on here, we should be seeing the contact dot full name on the page somewhere. Belongs to account, and same thing on the contact side. And within, not with, couldn't find employments. Yep. So this is in the contacts. So contacts and the show. All right. So this eventually we're going to want to be able to pull out into a partial. Or actually, we can make a. Yeah, we'll extract that later. Employments. Contacts. You sure about that? Div ID employment. That's very weird. Nah. Because I didn't. Because I need to select my account. So the nice thing about throwing JavaScript true is that it has to throw up the screen for you, or can throw up the screen for you. So we are going to add Selenium web driver and put that in to our testing gems. And I need to move my as up here. All right, could not find add company. So we're going to list all here. So actually, click on add employment. So we expect it to have company dot name. All right. So we are going to be making a new employment path, and this is going to be connecting it with that contact. Which I probably need the .id. Undefined method, new employment path, perfect. All right, so we want resources, employment. For now, we're new and create. New employment path. I'm terrible at spelling, so I appreciate that type of testing. What is employment controller? Oh, small typos. That's the magic of Rails, is that it gives you much tools. As long as you type things right, turns out all right. I think it's from. We'll see what it says. I have not gotten that before. Oh, nah. Because I'm not in there anymore. So that was giving me a stale error because I was still grabbing this employment's DOM node. but then I had been redirected to a new page, so the new page doesn't have that same DOM mode reference, and things blow up. Now, what does it say if I go back to 4? Yeah. All right, so in here, we are going to have a form.label company ID. All right, and here we want options for company, and this is going to be so now it's yelling at us. Perfect. So in the controller under new, we are going to be doing employment equals employee new. So this will eventually get the employment params, but let's not jump ahead. Rails G model employment. And we are on this going to have a company references, a contact references, and a status. That's going to be a string enum because that's going to change over time, I'm expecting. So company null false, foreign key true, status, and this is going to be null false. Should this have a default imposed by the no. Models are spec company, so we are having an enum, and this is going to be status, and for this we're going to have employee and consultant and fired. Something like that. Maybe quit. And all right. Still complaining about that. Let's see. If I use write code, it helps. And if I use write code down here, it will help. And options for company. All right. So this will be a helper. And I usually just make like a select helper. Current account companies dot map. So we want to we want to bring these companies in, and I always forget, so the c.name, c.id. So in here, we'll do the options. And so we expect this selected to be either so if they throw in a model, we want to try to get the ID, or we're going to assume it is an ID, and so we can work with the either way. And I can't find current account, and that is because I have to make this a helper method. Is that the right syntax? Beautiful. Looks like it is. Macro hard. It should be. Let's have to. All right. Cool. Status. Of course you don't have that. And this is going to be, so this is not as complicated. So options is, oh, I forget the syntax for this too. All right, let's hop into here. So this is going to be employment dot statuses. Yep. Perfect. All right. Employment dot status dot map. Can I just do this? Cool. I expect this will eventually be using internationalization to take care of it, but so even for this, we could do k dot title eyes. Okay. All right. So with this, we get the whole system up and running basically. And once that's done, then we can start using Turbo to enhance things and do stuff a little more dynamically. So in here, we're going to create a new employment. Okay, so all right. So in here, so we're not getting the, well, we'll get that in a minute. Let's run this again. It's going to yell us about company to exist and company, contact and company. Yep. So that's not being pulled into any of these things here. So employment dot contact ID is equal to params contact ID, and this has to be made from the company side. So really, we want to be a little bit clever here. So this employment gets brought in. If employment dot contact ID is present, then we're gonna spit out that company ID, but we're also going to add a form dot hidden of contact ID. And in here, so here we can also start from the company side of things. So that would be kind of where we're going to want to head towards when we do the other side. So really, starting from the contact, we can do that. All right, so when we create it, coming out new, employment.status equals params employee, well, employment.contact equals current count dot contacts dot find, and this is going to be employment params contact ID company employment params, which is a little bit closer to what I was expecting. Good. Params require employment permit. So this will permit status. And now it doesn't have the employments listed. So we go to contact show. And here we'll just do employment.company.name, and yes, your N+1 radar should be going off right about now. Employments, yep. So contact longest count has many employments, hopefully. Whoa, what is going on there? Ooh. Factory, okay, so it's now complaining that it's not showing up on the company side, which is reasonable because it's not. Company show. And so we actually don't want this to be quite the same. Yeah, so we're gonna want to be switching that up, but we'll get there. So company.employments.each employment.contact.full name, add contact, no employment path, and company ID is company ID. All right. And complaining about employments from the company side, of course. Has many employments. Cool. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to make contact 1, contact 2, and contact 1 dot full name. Yes. So that still should all be there. And Now, so yeah, let's not do that. Let's do a separate test for it. Shouldn't break anything. And I did. All right. Starting from the contact and starting from the company. So click on it. Company path. Lemons, click add contact. Select contact. Contact dot full name from contact, consultants from status, click to create appointment, speak to contact dot full name, visit contact path for contact, expectation have content company dot name. Alright, so we kind of want to duplicate this. So appointment dot company ID, then have a hidden field with company ID, and have a label for contact ID, options for contact, and this is not going to work long term, but that's fine. Employment.contact, cool. And options for contact, yep. So I usually keep these alphabetical, unless, yeah, which it was. I don't. And this is going to be down here. So current account dot contacts dot map c dot full name. That looks good. So this is eventually going to have to be a search or something like that. So that's fine. It's line 38. So it's complete. So in here, it's because we're redirecting. I'm trying to think about what I want to do here. It's getting a little. So here I actually don't want to redirect to the contact path. Here I want to redirect back. Fall back to, I think is what it is. just to test this, I don't think that's doing exactly what I want it to be doing. Sorry, I'm looking at the other screen, and it just closed naturally. All right, well, this is not doing what I want it to do, so I'll just go with that. But for right now, so I am just going to create the employment. All right, let's see if that does that now. So what I actually want to do here is if you create it from the company side or for the contact side, it will redirect you back to where you were, which means I probably have to put a session in there or something. But when we do stuff with Turbo, that's going to just take care of it. So if I go over to the companies, macro hard, and add a contact, Joe Blow is an employee, yep. So right now I'm on contacts 1. If I go back over to if I go back to the companies, macro hard, I can see Joe Blow there. Perfect. Well, ish. Perfect-ish. Okay, so that is pretty near working. All right. Which changes a bunch of stuff, but that's fine. Employment, we want to get rid of that. That's from Selenium. Alright. Yep. So what I'm debating here is whether we want to have employments as a nested route under companies and contacts. That's kind of what I'm questioning. If we do that, we can redirect and whatnot a little bit nicer. And we can remove that note to start from the company side. All right. All right. So I got that taken care of. Okay. So nesting employment, I'm going to think about that and see if that's what makes most sense. So we'll do that. We'll be able to, we're going to look at adding the email and phones. And I'm going to be kind of embedding those concepts into a contactable concern. So we'll be looking at that. So we have to-dos, but I want to have like notes in here too. All right, well, that's probably going to stop for today. So we'll look at doing that, nesting and employments next time.